Hi, my name is Alex Gurvich. I'm one of the co-developers of Firefly, and in this video I'm going to show you how to send data to a locally hosted Firefly server without having to output your data to JSON. I'll also be demonstrating as a side effect how to embed Firefly in a Jupyter notebook. As always, this tutorial notebook is available online in our documentation and ships with the Firefly code and Firefly Notebooks Flask tutorial. So let's go ahead and get started. In this tutorial, something that's new is we're going to be using the firefly.server namespace. We're going to take the spawn Firefly server and kill all Firefly servers functions. We're also going to take this ipython.display iframe, which is how we'll be able to display Firefly. So the first thing we're going to do is spawn a background Python process that will run a Flask web server. This takes a second to boot up, so we're going to chill, let it do its thing. Then we are going to load our iframe, which is just taking the URL localhost 5000 and embedding it. As you can see, this is showing us exactly the same thing as if we just went to localhost 5000. And Firefly works exactly the same, including with the ability to go full screen. So now you would never even know you were in a Jupyter notebook. Anyway, if we wanted to update the data that our Flask web server is displaying, we'll first need to generate some example data. We'll go back to our tried and true, trusty 3D grid. We'll create a reader with that data. And then we're just going to use the post method of the requests package to post the JSON data. So here we put write JSONs to disk equals false. So that means that that giant string that we talked about in the reader tutorial is saved to the myArrayReader.json. So we're going to send a bunch of characters to this port where Firefly lives, 5000 in this case, at the data input hook. We're going to say that the JSON is this JSON data. And after we've posted it, we get a response 200. That means that the post was good. And if we scroll back up, wouldn't you know that the data has changed to be our trusty grid. Now, this business with the requests and the posts can be kind of confusing, so we just wrapped it up in a reader.send data via Flask, which takes a port as an optional argument. And so if we rerun this, put this back to here, so we have a galaxy again, you can just call send data via Flask. It will post the data for you. And again, our data has been replaced without having to output any JSONs with the cube. When you're done, you can use the kill all Firefly servers function, which if you don't supply a process ID, will just kill all of the processes that match the Firefly name. In general, this should be fine because it'd be pretty difficult actually to get multiple ports running simultaneously. But if for some reason you have different versions of Firefly running on different ports, maybe you don't want to kill all Firefly servers and instead you just want to get the process ID. And you'll note that when we spawned this process, we captured it there. So that's where you can do the process.pid. So that works too. And then if we run this again, it seems to have survived the attempt on its life. There we go. Sometimes you got to do it a couple times. Then the Firefly server will be shut down. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions about using Flask to send data to a live local Firefly server, either check out our docs for a little bit more info, or shoot us a line at the GitHub issues page, or shoot me an email at agurvich@u.northwestern.edu.